Hi, it's Aga from Aytwit Engineering. Today I decided to give Doug a break and show you how to make Polish pierogis. So this is the deal. I have this recipe from my late great-grandma who hand wrote so many recipes for me just to make in America before I moved in here. So it's very cute and let's get started. So there are essentially 3 steps to making pierogis. Step number 1 is preparing the filling. Today we're going to make Ruski pierogi, Russian pierogis with potato and cheese. Step number 2 is making the dough and rolling it out and putting the filling in. And step number 3 is boiling the pierogis in hot water, or you can also fry them later. But we're going to discuss it a little bit later. Alright, so step number 1, making the filling. Actually, step number 1 has few steps in it, very easy. Let's start with the most important one, boiling the potatoes. We need to boil them. So we're going to dump the potatoes in the pan, in the big pot that I prepared here. We're going to fill it up with cold water and we are going to leave the skins on. Why? Because it's more nutritious, it creates less work, and it's just better for you, it tastes better. There you go, done. Let's wait. All right, so while potatoes are cooking, I'm going to fry the onions. So what you need are 2 onions, and you're going to cut them up into small pieces because they're going to go into the filling. So basically half the onion, and as you can see here, I just chose 2 smaller size onions. You can use 1 big onion, whichever one you'd like. Voila. Alright, so now you're going to keep on stirring the onions and cook them until they're translucent. Alright, so it looks like the onions are perfectly translucent. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn off the oven and I'm going to wait for them to cool off and wait for the potatoes. Okay, potatoes are about done. So let me just make sure. Yep, so the fork goes in. They're soft but not too mushy. So I'm going to get rid of the water and transfer them into a bowl so they can cool down. Because remember, I'm going to mix in the onions, potatoes, and cheese in my next step. Alright, so potatoes are all ready. They're all cooled down, so we can now start peeling them. I just want to clarify, when I said I was leaving the skins on, I meant for boiling, because I didn't want to pre-peel it. I wanted to have as much potato as possible, so I'm just going to peel it real quick, transfer it into a bigger bowl. I'm going to mix all the ingredients together, but first the potatoes. Alright, so all the potatoes are peeled right here, and then I'm going to complete step number 1, which is mixing all the ingredients together. So I have 2 pounds of potatoes over here. I have my 2 onions, glazed onions right here, and then I need 1 pound of small curd farmer's cheese over here. And again, you can find all the ingredients and the amounts you need in below. And then what else? I need 1 teaspoon of salt and about 1 teaspoon to 1.25 teaspoons of pepper. Perfect. And then I'm just going to mash all the ingredients together. Whew, okay, I applied my muscles and mixed it all up so they're all nicely mashed up together, the ingredients. The smell of onion, oh my gosh, and the cottage cheese, delicious, just like my great-grandma used to make it. So now what? Step number 1 is complete. We can start working on the dough finally. Okay, now we're ready for step number 2. So, 4 cups of flour over here in this bowl. I forgot to tell you guys that we also need to sift this flour, sorry. Okay, so what we're going to do, I have this nice cutting board made by Aytwit Engineering. I'm going to start gently sifting it, making sure that it's not dispersed all over the place, but it kind of stays in the middle. All right, nice little heap. Okay, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a little circle right here, or a little, what do you call it, a hole in the middle. And then I'm going to put 2 yolks in. First I'm going to separate the whites from the yolks, okay. All right, so we got yolk number 1. And then let's go with yolk number 2. All right, this is done. Perfect. Then I have about 1.5 teaspoons of salt over here, and I'm going to put it in the middle as well. And here I have 1.5 cups of water, of warm water, that I'm going to use for making the dough. So this is what I'm doing, guys. I am mixing the yolk and salt and flour together, and as I'm doing that, I'm adding water, and I'm making sure that everything goes in the middle. That's how Grandma always told me. Just make sure, more water, she said. Because we want to make sure that all the ingredients are evenly mixed up here. All right, so now I have to just knead it and knead it and knead it. Now guys, everyone uses different types of flour, so you might actually need a little bit more than 1.5 cups of warm water. I actually just poured a little bit over 1/2 cup into here, and I just have to, kind of adjust it. Yeah, I think it needs more water. All right, I want to make sure that the dough is supple. That all the ingredients are mixed together nicely. It's actually a very nice workout. Right here, all the crumbs go inside. Really good work here. Great Grandma will be proud. All right, so it looks like the dough is just about done. Not too dry, not too wet, just about done. What we're going to do right now is we're going to let it rest. So I prepared this cotton cloth. I'm going to cover it on the cutting board for just about 10 minutes. Let's wait. All right, so we're waiting for the dough to be ready. In the meantime, let's grab that pot that you use for boiling potatoes, fill it up with cold water, and put it on the oven on high, because we're going to use this pot for pierogies. All right, 10 minutes has passed, and the dough has rested enough, and I'm going to use this knife, or you can use your hands, whatever, to cut, let's say, 1/4 of it, about this size. Okay? And then I'm going to cover the rest of the dough so it doesn't dry off. I'm going to put a little bit more flour, just dust the board with flour, and then let the rolling begin. Now the thickness of your pierogies, it all depends on you. I've seen really thick pierogies, I've seen really thin pierogies. I'm thinking something in between. All right, I think that's good enough. Let me stretch it out a little bit more. I'm going to start cutting out the circles, and like I said, I'm going to use the top of the shaker I have. One, nice. All right, and the scraps, am I going to throw out the scraps? No, I'm going to save them for later. So it's best to collect them all in one hand and put them back into the dough that is already covered with a tablecloth. All right, now are you ready for the really, really fun part? Okay, grab a really good spoon. This delicious filling. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna grab a piece in your hand. You're gonna stretch it out, just like this. Okay, so you're gonna stretch it out in your hands, then you're gonna dump the spoon here. You're gonna take some filling, put it in the middle, and then, just like that, and by stretching it, Make sure that you can cover, that you can close the pierog, which is one pierogi, just like that. I know some people use forks or their special things, tools for pierogi making, but I just prefer to use my fingers. All right, the water's boiling. We're ready for the pierogis. So we're gonna put them in one at a time. And they're ready when they emerge on the surface. So I'm going to put all of them in and wait for them to emerge on the surface. That means that they're ready, that they're cooked, that we can take them out. And in the meantime, I can still cut out more circles for pierogis. Okay, they're all on the top, ready to push fished out. And I see there has been no breach, so no filling is floating in the water. Look how perfect they are. Dilly, what you're gonna do, you're going to be the first taster of these pierogis, okay? Once they cool down, you're going to try them out. Okay, so this is what a perfect pierog.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly, that actually looks exactly how my great-grandma used to make it. This size at least, see? Perfect. So, people eat it different ways. They put sauerkraut on, sometimes they put sour cream on it and chives. What we like to do is just put salt and pepper, extra salt and pepper, and fried onions. Okay, I think it's cooling up. Okay, so Dylan would like to take the first bite, obviously. All right, Dilly, tell Mommy and Daddy how they turned out. Are they good or what? Is it good? Okay, so this means that's good. This means it's so-so, and this means that it's bad. So I'm guessing it's really delicious. Good, Dilly. Go on, go ahead and finish up this pierogi. Success!